In this edition of our Millennial Investment Series, we're joined by Catherine White, who is an associate at IBK Capital. Welcome, Catherine.
Thank you.
So I actually read that you played on the NCAA Division I women's varsity hockey team while you were at Cornell University, as well as on the under-18 and under-22 Canadian national team, which is amazing. So I just wanted to know, how did you make that transition into the business and investment sector?
So while I was playing hockey, I was actually studying business, and I always saw myself working in that capacity after school. I first sort of got the investing bug in one of my classes. We were able to do stock market participation where you could buy and sell shares, and I really liked that idea. So after hockey, I was like, you know what, I really want to get into this. So a couple months after graduating, I started working at IBK Capital Corp. We finance mining companies that are small caps. We also advise them as well. And on a daily basis, we're working with these companies. And rather than just servicing them and working with these guys, I was like, you know what? I also want to buy some of these shares and own these companies. So, yeah.
And so as a millennial yourself, for the millennials who are out there and want to get into investing but might be hesitant to do so, what are some tips that you can offer?
So first of all, in my world, it's small caps, right? And these small caps take a while to grow, and most of them are pre-revenue. So you need to have a long-term time horizon, so a minimum of about 3 to 5 years. Secondly, you also want to do your homework. So you want to make sure that these companies have, their management has a good track record. When management, are they good at articulating how they're going to increase share price, and are they good at executing that plan?
During your time at IBK Capital, you've assisted in financial advisory roles in the junior mining space. So what are some valuable lessons that you've learned about investing in junior mining?
Yeah, so you want to make sure you're investing in management that has a good track record. Have they brought mines in production in the past? Have they made significant discoveries in the past? And also, we like to see if management has skin in the game, because then their interests are aligned with that of shareholders. Yeah. Secondly, you want to make sure you're looking at mining companies that are quality assets. So high grade, low cost. They operate in a geopolitically safe jurisdiction. They have great infrastructure, so airports nearby, roads nearby. All these characteristics of a mining company, especially in the small cap space, are great because more often than not, these companies get financed, they get developed. We financed a company by the name of PC Gold. We bought shares in this company. It was a 5-cent offering. It's a quality asset. It was up in northwestern Ontario. It was high grade. It had a mill on site. This company actually got acquired by a company called First Mining Finance. So our 5-cent shares, this is an all share transaction. By the time we got taken over by First Mining, the implied value of our shares was 9 cents.
Wow.
So almost a double. But the beauty of this was, if you still own your First Mining, well, your PC Gold, which are now First Mining Finance shares today, the implied value of your shares is actually 19 cents. So it's a 280% return.
Wow.
But what's even more great is, because we bought private placements, it was a 1-for-1 warrant coverage. So for each share of PC Gold you also got a full warrant to buy another share in PC Gold. That actually increases your return by double. So your 280% return is actually a 560% return.
Wow.
So that's the nice thing about small caps. It's high risk, but it's also very high reward. And the great thing about these stocks is, if you hold them in a TFSA, a tax-free savings account, it's great because all these capital gains are tax-free.
And so now, speaking of your time at IBK Capital, what are some stocks that you think will outperform in the near future?
In no particular order, Minera Alamos, it's a Canadian company. It has 2 assets in Mexico. One, a near-term gold production asset, the La Fortuna Gold Project, and secondly, the Los Verdes Copper Project. We just raised about $4.4 million for this company in this year alone. It was a 10-cent offering. Currently, it's trading at about 17 cents today. Near the end of the first quarter of 2017, this company is going to have a pre-feasibility study come out, so that's some good news to look forward to. One of the great things about Minera and operating in Mexico is this will actually be the 4th mine of similar profile that they'll bring into production, the La Fortuna Gold Project. We like to see that because it proves, to my point before, that we like to invest in management that is done and performed in the past. So we really like Minera, and you should take a look at them. And then another company, it's the Wawa Gold Project up in Wawa, Ontario. So again, this project, it's a great jurisdiction, great location in Wawa. There's an airport nearby. It's owned by Red Pine Exploration Inc. and Augustine Ventures Inc. They each own a 30% interest in the project. Lots of great things about the Wawa Gold project, and because of that, we think it's going to be a mine someday, and we think it could possibly be a likely candidate for a takeover acquisition by a mid-tier or major mining company.
Well, thank you so much for all that great advice and for those great picks.
Thank you for having me, Dwayne.
Of course. If you want to learn more about how to get into the investing space, be sure to watch our other Millennial interviews on Small Cap Power.